Righty-ho, folks, we're back on air. We've got the Higher Sun Cup, the Carl Cox Motorsport Higher Sun Cup here at the Bruce McLaren Motorsport class. And this is an 8-lap journey for these riders. And on pole position, we had Grant Cullen. Nearly a second, 0.846 of a second ahead of Michael Patchett. Jesse Stroud. That's why he wasn't at the podium for his win in the last race. I looked down there and said, where's Jesse? Has he forgotten? No, he's got to get out in this next class. So Jesse Stroud's out there on number 27. Alex Butson, Andrew McLaughlin, Sean Parker, Lauren May, Josh Augustin, Jacob Stroud, Richard Cochrane. An interesting Jacob Stroud qualified in 9th out of 10. We know he's better than that. Look at this great bunch of riders there. 4 bikes going through turn 6 into turn 7 here, and then another bunch. I think there's 5. Yeah, there is 5. I saw 4 there, 5 earlier, 4. And why it is they were duplicating each other, hiding each other, sorry. And we go back. So there's 4 bikes, 5 bikes, and then 1 bike right at the tail end. There's no firsts if there's no lasts. It's great to see whoever this is out on the racetrack. This could be a Richard Cochrane at the back, looking at the qualifying times, but we'll wait till we get them round on their first lap to confirm that. But 4 bikes head up off into the distance, looking at the Ctas screen here. Great to see Ctas back at the Nationals. All these races are available to watch in about a day or two, and in history time you'll be able to pick this up in a year or 10 years time and watch it. And don't forget, all you folks in the pits and involved in the sport, if you're going to use their footage to spread the word on your race, please put a acknowledgement to Ctas. A, it's respect, but B, more importantly, is the statistics when people go in there to watch it and want to watch other racing are important for our sponsors. So the first thing is respect. The second thing is about our sponsors. So they're coming through on lap 1 off that long straight there. 4 bikes. There's that massive battle of 5 bikes in behind them. There's about 100 metres between them. It's almost like there was a split start. Sorry, I moved the microphone up there just out of habit, but that has got to be Jesse Stroud out in the front.
Yeah, Jesse Stroud. Jesse Stroud is so short, he has to lift himself up off the pegs to get tucked in over the tank as we see him go down the front straight. Hard work for Jesse Stroud today. I think he's out in 3 classes, this, the Gixxer Cup and Supersport 300 and KTM 390. So Jesse's putting in the hard yards today.
And a great little performance too there. That was a nice win in that 150 class, and then yeah, his brother doubles him down. He couldn't do the interview down there, and boom, he's straight out in front the next month. He's getting used to this winning stuff.
Yeah, good. Yeah, is he out there in the lightweight 300, or is that Jacob Stroud? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We've just like that's got me interested. We'll look through the results sheet and find out. It's not important right at the moment. I'm just trying to think, because if I miss someone in that class. But at the end of the day, it is great racing all the way through. Higher Sun Cup. Higher Sun Cup, we do not have a lap record here for the Higher Sun Cup. We might have to go through because they have raced here extensively over the time. Carl Cox Motorsport are part of the sponsorship package for this entire circuit. The Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park, and of course they are sponsoring this. You know, Carl Cox Motorsport, what a legend, mate. I met the guy a few times over the years. He was here at the Cemetery Circuit, and the first round of the Suzuki Series at Taupo, mate, absolutely amazing. Very humble guy. I said to him, I've looked at some of your YouTube hits, because he's a musician, and I've seen up to 2 million hits, and he said, yeah. He never corrected me that there's more. I went there that week, and there was 28 million hits on one of his YouTube things. That's more than you,
almost
Jared.
As many as my website back in the day, eh?
Yeah.
He did a concert after Wanganui, and all of us got a lot of free tickets, and actually went to go along. And
you got one, I didn't. Yeah, I got that's one. Right. I didn't actually, I paid to get in. But I looked on there again this week, 34 million hits on one YouTube. That's just one YouTube thing. So we're going to go across to the results here, as we've got 6 laps to do. 2 laps down. Over to you, John Dyson.
Yeah, Jesse Stroud from Hamilton in first place. Andrew McLaughlin, probably a surprise entrant in the Higher Sun Cup race from Christchurch. He's holding now second place. Grant Cullen in third. Michael Patchett in fourth. Jacob Stroud, surprisingly, fifth. Alex Butson, sixth. Sean Parker, seventh. Josh Augustine, eighth. And Lauren May, ninth. With Richard Cochrane in 10th place.
So Jesse's out in front of Jacob. What do you reckon the talk around the family table is going to be like tonight?
Oh, no idea. Oh, it's just going to be about all day long. And of course, I see their father there.
Mechanic, A-grade mechanic down there. I saw him changing some tyres. It's nice.
Andrew's back in the working system now, you know, for a wee while. Well, no, for a long time he was a professional motorcycle racer for many years, over 20 years. And recently the wife and his partner and the mother of all the kids, actually, the 10 kids. Karen's gone and done some nursing, but Andrew's gone back to his old, what he qualified and got his degree in mechanical engineering, so he's now back in the workforce. That means a shuffle in the family, and I think Karen's parked up his nursing studies for about 6 months to reassess the situation, but Andrew enjoying working, of course, for many years. He was a professional motorcycle racer, and that involves not just during the season, involves promotion outside the season. So right now the Hyacinth Cup, the Carl Cox Motorsport class here at the Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park, and it is Jesse Stroud coming onto the front straight. A 155, 630, 156, 246 for Andrew McLaughlin, 156, 167 for the third place guy, Grant Cullen. No change of position there in the top four, but they're very close there. Who's that in fourth place there? Having a bit of a wiggle there. That would be
Michael Patchett out of Auckland.
On bike number 4, so very strong up at the Hampton Downs the Hampton Downs racetrack facilities as well. The Hyacinth Cup. Majority of the riders are out of Auckland. In fact, we've got a Christchurch guy, Andrew McLaughlin up there, and Hamilton, Jesse Stroud. Of course, the rest of them are from Auckland. It came about, I think, because the 250s in the 250 production weren't quite competitive as the Kawasaki's, and then the Hyacinth New Zealand said, well, we've got a lot of people up in Auckland, let's do a proper class there for them. And great to have them in the New Zealand Superbike Championships as a support class as well. That battle going on there for the second ball. There was a fifth bike amongst that, wasn't there? He's dropped off quite a bit there, somewhere along the line. So we got the top four: Jesse Stroud, Andrew McLaughlin, Andy McLaughlin, Grant Cullen, Michael Patchett. So we're going to go back to that other battle there: Jacob Stroud, Alex Butson, Sean Parker, Josh Augustin, and Lauren May, I think, on 43 is the one that's dropped off the pace there a little bit for some reason. But I'll tell you what, nobody's changed position in the last lap, but there's a lot of change of position during the lap. So somehow, other people are strong in certain parts of the track. We've got the group of 4 out the front, the other group of 4, they're changing positions. But when we come back to the start-finish line, it's back to square one. Actually, looking at these first 4, they are spread out, but there might be a change of position there for second and third there, Jared Love.
He's going to ever go into that second last corner there. No, he holds his position, but they're all chasing Jesse Stroud, who just won that race before on the 150. He's jumped straight on the bike. Have a look at this down the front straight. He stands up. He's so little to get his... he's too small to try and get his head in underneath the screen.
I do that on my bike when I need to do a trouser cough. But 1.765 seconds between them in the lap before. It's now down to 0.797, and the fastest man on the track is Grant Cullen. He's in the 154s, a low 154, 154.080. That is 1.1 seconds quicker than Jesse Stroud in the last thing. So I was predicting this is going to be a Jesse Stroud runaway, but a 154.080, a 155.134 the last time for Jesse Stroud. I wonder if he's getting any sort of signals. I wonder if he's looking over a shot. At that physical size, it's very hard to look over behind you. And then we've got that battle on for those other 4 riders there. We've got the first 4 at turn 7, turn 6, turn 7. Out of turn 5 here, the right-hander, we've got those other 4 bikes, and there's 3 merged up there. There's side by side there. In fact, 3 bikes, and there's a bike and a half length separating those 3. Wow, the racing is, yeah.
We've still got 4 laps to go. Maybe Jesse Stroud's
not we, them.
they do. Maybe Jesse Stroud's getting a little bit of leg pump from actually having to stand up on the thing. He looks like, it reminds me of a little go-kart racer, eh? You see those tiny little torsos with a big helmet bolted on. It's nice to see someone that size and that age out there and into this introduction class.
Torso, that's a good word. I should have done that in Scrabble the other night. Yeah, I had an R and S and a couple of O's, and I thought, what can I do with that? And a torso, yeah, I have to remember that the next time round. Might have to pick my own things. But here we go, that final place getter, Richard Cochrane from Auckland there is coming round onto the start-finish line, number 61. Great to see him at the track. Over to you, Jared.
It's real tight at the front. Jesse Stroud had it his own way, but he's under attack at the moment. There we go.
0.79 seconds. We're down to less than 4/100ths of a second, less than 4/100ths of a second, and now Grant Cullen has gone into the front. The battle is on there, Jared Love and John Dyson.
Yeah. Jesse's back. Jesse's back in front now, so these guys are swapping places all the way around the track. They look like they've broken away from third place, so...
And we're coming across that lapper, Richard Cochran. He'll keep his head, yep. All right, all eyes out there. That's Jesse Stroud in second place. We're going through turn 5 here, coming up to turn 6 and into turn 7.
Oh, this is going to be good. We've got 3 laps to go, and this turned from a 1-horse race into a 2-horse race, and these
Pony, the size of them,
Yeah.
or one of those short horses.
Shetland. Couple of Shetlands out here.
These two are going at it. They're passing each other a couple times through the corners.
But it's also, it's a 1-meg series, so it's highest on 250s, but there's also a good mix of bikes out there too. We've got the Hyosung XR4R, which is a 250 single cylinder, which Jesse Stroud's on, and I think Michael Patchett and Jacob ride the newer 250. A lot of the guys are on the older GT 250, which is a V-twin 250 machine, which I think was the mainstay of the championship up to perhaps 2 years ago when the XR4 came out. But it is interesting the differences between the V-twin versus a single cylinder bike.
Yeah, great. And in the last lap, I said people were pretty well, not stagnant, but they hadn't changed position. In the last lap, we saw Alex Butson get ahead of Jacob Stroud. We also saw Josh Augustine get ahead of Sean Parker. So over the start-finish line shortly, 39 thousandths of a second in the last lap. It is now 0.409 for Grant Cullen, leading off Jesse Stroud. Andy McLaughlin there in third spot. Well, look at how Michael Patchett goes through on the number 4 bike. Remember, this was 4 people there a few laps ago, and now it is spread out. But right out the front, it's a battle going on. That lapper goes through. Here's that battle of 4 bikes there. It'll be Alex Butson, Jacob Stroud, Josh Augustin, Sean Parker. Last lap. Who's going to change position there? No change of position, but less than 3 bike lengths between all those things. They bunch up going into turn 1, Jared Love.
Oh, past there down the inside by that one, and then past back again. This is some great racing going on here. Those 4 are just going to swap around for these next 3 laps.
Remember, we've got double the racing tomorrow and longer laps. 15-lap race for the Supersport 600 and 15-lap race for the Superbike Championship, the final race of the day. So the programs are available at the gates, and it's going to be twice the action tomorrow. And of course, the championships. Some of them are going to go in the first race. Some we've seen 2 championships decided today. Some of them are going to go right to the wire. That battle is on for those 5 bikes. Actually, 4 bikes. That's a lapper we're coming across, coming out of Turn 7 here, the hairpin at the Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park. Looking right up into the distance here. Here comes those, along the long straight, here comes the lead 2 bikes, and it still is Grant Cullen from Auckland ahead of Jesse Stroud. In fact, that's about an 80-metre lead. So we saw Jesse Stroud have up to a nearly 1 second lead. I think it was 7.7 seconds. It's changed now, so Jesse's back in the front. Jesse's back in the front, yes. And a good view from this for Andy McLaughlin there on 37 in 3rd place from Christchurch. So the white flag is out, and there it is. It is Jesse Stroud back in the front. What did he do? A 53.97, a 55.174. So that's a hell of a difference. That lapper wouldn't have got involved with him. That's just Jesse has found something there to pump out the fastest lap. And in saying that, a 53.972. For that last lap for Jesse Stroud, that is his fastest lap. Grant Cullen at one stage did a 53.733, but he was into the 55, so I reckon he's at a moment somewhere probably right up at the top where we can't see. Do you think he can come back, Jared Love?
I don't know, he just ran wide exiting turn 7 there, or 6, and let's see a little bit of dust. He's definitely trying. He doesn't want to give this to Jesse. So you're saying, is this lap record pace? Have they not run a national event here before?
Not at the Nationals, and we don't have the data for. They've run Hyosung Cups here, so we probably need to go through and find that out. We've got pretty good lap records here, but that is something that's slipped through somewhere along the line. So sometimes it's about amalgamating different lap times from different companies, so let's try and find that information out tonight. Right, that battle of those 4 bikes there Stroud, Jacob Stroud, Alex Butson, Sean Parker and Josh Augenstein. That is on turn 7. It's the last lap of the race. And not far in behind them, it may be Laura May on 43, or is that the lapper? So no, it's Laura May there. So 4 bikes battling it out, races within races. We're looking out the lead bikes coming along that west-east straight, the long straight here at Bruce McLaren Motorsport Park. The final 3 corners, sorry. We go into the left, then a right-hander, then a left onto the front straight. Jesse Stroud's just got to get through there, drive it to the end of the race. There he is, jumping up and down. He has taken the race win, and but I tell you what, the fastest lap last time of 1:53.2:11 was Grant Cullen. So he had the 1:55 that lap before, and I said something must have gone wrong. He's obviously not tired.
No.
Or just the adrenaline pumps in there. All right, let's look out for third place. Third place has gone through.
Andy McLaughlin takes out third place. So the next
Battle
one we're
across-
looking for is Michael Patchett, who was holding down 4th place, and he's nearly dropped into the clutches of the second pack here.
Wow, people looking over the shoulder, people waving their fists out.
So Michael Patchett goes through in 4th, Jacob Stroud in 5th, Sean Parker 6th, Lauren May 7th, Alex Butson 8th, Josh Augustine 9th, and we just wait for the final finisher, Richard Cochran in 10th place.